Yo, 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 yo. Big Cash back up in here. Rihanna just came out and she's exposing all that Diddy stuff. You know they got a little circle in it. Listen, when Rihanna got signed, allegedly she was in the office with Jay-Z and he said you could either sign this deal or you could leave out this door or leave out the window. She said that too. I think it was on, what was it, 106 in Park or something like that? I'm telling you, man, this stuff goes deep. And it's all going to start coming out during this Diddy trial. Before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all go purchase a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset. The link will be in the description for purchase. I appreciate you a whole lot. And let's try to get to 1,000 likes. Matter of fact, let's get to 1,000 likes. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get 1,000 likes. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
To me. I didn't cause this. I didn't do it. This happened to me, and it can happen to anybody.
Rihanna has barely pushed out her third baby, and she's already out here being messy by spilling the tea on Beyonce allegedly covering up for Diddy and indulging in those freak-offs.
Yo, if Jay-Z and Diddy, they right-hand mans, man. Jaguar, all I can say is Jaguar right. Jaguar right.
A lot of people have always wondered why Rihanna never worked with Beyonce, even though they were both so close to Jay-Z, and it looks like we now have the answer to that question. Rihanna went from calling Beyonce her biggest inspiration to now barely talking about her and paying her dust. It turns out that apart from Rihanna having to deal with Jay-Z making advances at her and allegedly even SAing her in his office when she was just 17, she also had to deal with Beyonce trying to force her into freak-offs with Diddy. According to
all alleged, this is allegedly, we just comedians, we don't know what's going on. But take a look at these pictures though. Take a look at these pictures, y'all. Bird of a feather flock together. Oh, that's Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys? Oh, man. Oh, man. Kanye and Kim. Puff and whoever he with.
Diddy. According to reports, Rihanna thought she could confide in Beyonce when she was going through all of that mess with Jay. But she quickly found out that Beyonce wasn't a girl's girl like she makes herself out to be. People actually found out just how close Beyonce and Diddy were when Freddie, who was a member of the group.
Look how she looking at Diddy. I want y'all to peek these to do this knowledge. Look at this knowledge right here. Why she looking at him like that?
And Diddy were when Freddie, who was a member of the group The Band from Diddy's former show on MTV, Making the Band, revealed that back in the day when Diddy made them walk all the way to downtown to get him a cheesecake from the cheese factory, it actually wasn't for Diddy, it was for Beyonce. And she's the one who told Diddy to make them walk instead of using a car. It's unclear the exact part of New York they were in at the time, but the trip to downtown by foot was 4 hours long, and he made them walk there to get him a cheesecake. This was one of the earliest signs that Diddy was a sick individual, but a lot of people were too busy cackling at him, making these boys.
How many of y'all heard that the cheesecake was really for Beyonce?
Walk that long for some cheesecake that they overlooked it. During a recent interview, Freddie P finally revealed who the cheesecake was for, and it turns out it was for Beyonce. This whole time we thought Diddy punished these boys for his own satisfaction when it was really all the request of Beyonce. Apparently, Beyonce was the one who told Diddy that she wanted cheesecake, but instead of making someone from her team go get it for her, she allowed Diddy to make the members of the band walk for hours to get it and humiliate them on national television. And you'd think that she'd be disgusted by the fact that Diddy put them boys through that just for her to get that cheesecake. But according to Freddie, she didn't care at all and went on to enjoy that cake.
In fact, a lot of people don't know that cheesecake we went and got was for Beyonce.
Oh.
She was upstairs the whole time.
Oh.
What we was talking about again? Hold on. Yeah, that's a fun fact people don't know. People like, y'all walked together cheesecake. It was for Beyonce. I'm the type of nigga. I listen to everything you say as if it's a contract. So if you say, walk to the store, or walk to get me some cheesecake, I'll walk to get you some cheesecake, but I'm not walking back. And that's just what me and Darlon did. And they like, why y'all, you know, they hot. Like, y'all cheating. And we like, he told us to walk. He ain't tell us to walk back. So we already in the hotel like 3 hours before they got there. When they said they was coming, we went and met them in front of the building. And you know the first thing that nigga said out of his mouth? He said, we got the cheesecake. He was like, I want that shit, take that shit upstairs for Beyonce. Then he said, they was like, yeah, man, we wanted to tell you, Fred and Darlon, they ain't walk back. You know, trying to be on some snitching shit. He was like, I ain't tell you niggas to walk back.
At the time Freddie revealed this, people were wondering why Diddy would go that far to make Beyonce happy. Because so far as we were concerned, he didn't really have any business with her outside of her being the wife of his associate, Jay-Z.
Yo, why is he in these pictures closer to the man's woman than the man is? This the same as the Lauren London picture. Dang, bro. What's going on, y'all, behind these closed doors?
Outside of her being the wife of his associate, Jay-Z. But it turns out she was also allegedly in them freak-offs. And this was revealed by DaBaby not too long ago when he spilled the tea about the time he met
I forgot. They putting it together, y'all. They putting the pieces together. Pick up the pieces.
Beyonce and Jay during a private party at Diddy's house. He said Diddy kicked everyone out of the room, leaving only him, Beyonce, Jay, and Diddy in the room. Once it was just them, he claims Beyonce started talking to him a lot. And she even introduced herself to him. Like, girl, you are literally Beyonce. Of course that man knows who you are. Like, stop playing. According to Jaguar Wright, this was a freak-off meeting. And Beyonce was trying to seduce DaBaby into giving her some of that hood D, because Jay was clearly not putting it down since he's getting a little owed.
Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man.
Oh, don't get the stuttering now, Ninja. Go ahead and let us know what happened.
He was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
What he is a broke down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. That's what he is.
What if Jay-Z be putting her out there just to get a signature from these people?
Period. You want to know what else I also find funny? That he did that interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shay. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house.
And he took a liking to him. Nobody else.
How after, you know, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his...
Not the baby. They piecing it together. Y'all.
With him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him. And she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him, kind of like how she approached that old friend of his when he said that he was at the party and the little people was there and she asked him, "Isn't this sexy?" My. How illuminating. There's been a lot of freaking off going on for a long time. Why does everybody keep... Let me tell you this. Beyonce, Giselle knows Carter. It does not matter how much money they spend, how many people, those tickets ain't gonna sell. You're caught. I wish you had the common sense that animals do when they're caught. They just surrender. But no, y'all gonna fight it to the very end. Y'all gonna bring this broke down old NFL bum who apparently will do anything with his genitals to help cover or create validity where there is none with the weirdos. With his little orange purse. Screwing people's kids. Screwing kids young enough to be his grandchildren. Shame on you. You a dirty old man. Period.
But this is where things get even more disturbing. Word on the street is that at some point, Jay and Beyonce tried to get our girl Rihanna to join them in those freak-offs. And that's why she ran away from the industry. When she refused to do those freak-offs, they tried to sabotage her by leaking her album, Anti, and that's when she knew it was time to leave. People feel like this is why Rihanna is so hesitant on doing music again.
So Rihanna is not signed to Jay-Z no more. Is that what they saying?
Because she knows what she went through and has no interest in dealing with it again, especially when she already makes billions of dollars from Fenty anyway. Now, just for a little bit of context, Rihanna actually used to love Beyonce at one point and even called her her biggest inspiration.
Yeah, she actually wrote me this cute.
That smile look fake right there. That Beyonce smile look fake. What y'all think? That joint look fake. That joint look super fake.
Her biggest inspiration.
Yeah, she actually wrote me this cute little letter and she signed it with her autograph. It was so cute. When I first met her, and she wrote, she was telling me, just let loose when you perform and just have fun and be in control.
However, their relationship went downhill when Rihanna began receiving mainstream success. The more she got to know Beyonce, that love started to disappear. Things took a turn for the worse when Beyonce dissed Rihanna on her song Bow Down. People dragged Beyonce for being a hypocrite because she went from preaching about girls running the world to calling those same girls B-words and demanding for them to bow down to her.
Bow down B over and over from the woman who preaches.
Coming for Rihanna like that, she got super defensive and refused to apologize.
The reason I put out Bow Down is because I woke up, I went into the studio, I had a chant in my head. It was aggressive, it was angry. It wasn't the Beyonce that wakes up every morning. It was the Beyonce that was angry. It was the Beyonce that felt the need to defend herself. And if the song...
Oh, is she jealous of Riri? Is she jealous of Riri because Riri is younger?
Ever comes out, okay, I said it. And I listened to it after I finished, and I said, this is hot. I'm going to put it out. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to just put it out. People like it, great. They don't. And I won't do it every day because that's not who I am. But I feel strong. And anyone that says, oh, that is disrespectful, just imagine a person that hates you. Imagine a person that doesn't believe in you. And look in the mirror and say, bow down, bitch. And I guarantee you feel gangster. So listen to that song from that point of view. Again, if you didn't like it before.
This pissed off Rihanna, and she took to Twitter to shade Beyonce. She posted an article crowning herself the queen of pop in the UK and captioned it, "I only know how to be number one. I could use a challenge. How'd that feel down there on your knees?" A lot of people believe that Beyonce started hating Rihanna after rumors started going around that Jay-Z was messing around with Riri. However, it's now looking like Rihanna refusing to freak off with her and Diddy might have also been another reason. Now, in case you somehow didn't know, Rihanna's publicist started a rumor that Jay-Z was having an affair with Rihanna, but later backtracked with this statement that said, "The PR stunt I did was out of desperation to help break Ponder Replay. It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at..."
Nah, you wasn't throwing spaghetti at the wall hoping it would stick. I know that's what you're about to say. Look, spaghetti at the wall, see what would stick. Told you. Knew it. Yeah, I already knew it.
The wall to see what would stick. A lot of people didn't buy this story, especially after Rihanna confessed to Jay allegedly SAing her in his office. She said the day she got signed, Jay locked her up in his office for hours and didn't allow her to leave till she signed with him. But here's the thing though. People speculate that he did more than just force her to sign a contract. Mind you, she was still a minor at the time.
Tell me about your audition with Jay-Z.
There, go right here.
A really good audition. Yes. But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming. And you had to sing a cappella for him? Yes, I had to sing. I sang Ponder Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time. Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you. Oh yes, he said, "We don't sing songs here, we sing artists." And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, "And we're interested." And there was this sudden feel of relief. But then he said something about a window and a door.
Listen.
Oh, then he said, he did a homework. I did a lot of homework on you, this lady. He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed, or through this window, and we're in the 29th.
You don't say that to no child. You don't say that to no child. You don't see, say you could leave through this door or you could leave through this window. Come on, man. Come on, man.
So
somebody said, "Oh my God."
Paper, I'm signing. Yeah. And I'm sure working with Jay-Z, you've met Beyonce. That's right. How was it like meeting her? I could not speak. Really? Really. That's someone I really looked up to for a long time. And it was after one of my showcases, and he was introducing me to everyone from the label. Then he finally said, "Okay, one more person." And there she was. And I could not speak. And she gave you some advice. Yes, she did. She just told me to, when I get on stage, let loose, have fun, and be in control. Yeah, and don't be afraid to let it go. No. Because she'd be like, "What?" You know how she does it.
And do y'all remember what I said about Beyonce and Jay allegedly sabotaging Rihanna's album release? Because she refused to freak off with them and Diddy? Rihanna's anti-album leaked on Tidal, a platform which is owned by Beyonce and Jay-Z. This leak forced Rihanna to release the album before its initial release date. Meanwhile, Beyonce's album, which was about to be released at the same time as Rihanna's album, got all the promo. Rihanna's album ended up doing just 124,000 copies the first week, while Beyonce's Lemonade album sold 653,000 copies. The feud got so bad that Rihanna and Beyonce were...
Look at that. Look at that. Y'all already heard about Alicia Keys. They were saying about Alicia Keys. Oh, man, it's starting to come out, y'all.
Were caught avoiding each other at the Tidal press conference. A source who spoke to the T-Page, Naughty Gossip, said they refused to stand next to each other or speak with each other. The whole show was carefully choreographed, and these two had almost nothing to do with each other. Now it's unclear if Rihanna will be getting...
Dang. And the more... Hey, look, I'm telling y'all. Wait till tomorrow. Wait till after Monday hit. And that trial start again, look, all we waiting for that trial to crank back up again. That trial crank back up again, we're going to have people on the stand and all that. Yeah, more stuff going to be getting exposed, y'all. Watch. And we going to be here for we going to be sitting right here. We going to be sitting right here ready for all of it. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Cash signing out. I'm going, y'all.